Hey y'all, and welcome to Sherry's Ocean Suds. I'm so glad you're here, and I hope you are ready for a train wreck of a soap being made tonight. I'm getting ready to show you here kind of an outline of what I had in my head. Of course, there's a whole lot more details on the colors and things, but I kind of just sketched it out a little bit so I knew how much soap, to put out for each section: sand, ocean, sky, and whatnot. And that was one of the things where my first mistake was I did not allow for anything to do with the sun. And then on top of it all, here I've got a new recipe. This is my first recipe I have ever used tallow in. So I had no idea how that was going to react, if it was going to speed anything up or anything. I was just, me, just flying by the seat of my pants and hoping for the best. Luckily, it didn't seem to really do anything as far as accelerating my batter or anything. I really liked working with it, and I love how it feels as far as I tried it, the next day after I had cut the soap. So I will definitely be using some more tallow in my soaps. What I've done so far is I just got it basically to emulsion and not to trace or anything, because I wanted plenty of time to be able to work with it and get my additives and things in there, get it separated, colored, all the things. So barely just got it to, and here you're going to see me go back and forth 12 times because I don't know what I'm doing. I'm telling you, it was a hot mess from the start. I kind of had an idea in my head, and I thought, well, you know what, I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. I got all excited and just jumped in, didn't prepare everything, so I set myself up for failure on this one. It ended up looking, it's still a beautiful soap. It smells great, all the things, but like nothing seemed to go right for me. And I think it was because of, the way I started it without actually being prepared. Here I'm just adding in a tiny bit of the brown mica, and then I'm going to add some bentonite clay, and then also I'm going to add a little bit of chia seeds, and to make the sand. And you'll see here that I mix this quite a bit, because where it's the bottom layer, I do want it to set up pretty fast. So I mix it till it's quite thick, and then I add the chia seeds in and actually mix it some more before I even pour it into the mold. I know a lot of people seem to add like poppy seeds and different things, but I have found I really like the look that the chia seeds give the sand. It just gives it a little bit of dimension and a little bit of texture. And that's just me. That's what I use. And that's a great thing about making soap. You can use literally anything that you want to do. If you think this looks better and 100 people use something different, doesn't matter. You do you. And here I'm just mixing in the fragrance oil, mixing it really good. I'm getting ready to pour it in. I kind of propped it up between the side of the pan and one of my flat column molds, because I wanted it to stay tilted. And it worked pretty good. I wasn't real sure if it would stay like that or not, but no, it done pretty good. I'm learning to do these without getting my big head in the way, so bear with me. Because a lot of my first videos, you can't even see what I'm doing, because all you see is the back of my head and how bad I needed to have my roots done. Alright, I want you to pay attention right here to how much effort I put into making these different colored blues. And I know you probably can't tell this, the camera doesn't pick up very good on, the different tones of the blues and whatnot, but I do make a light blue, a dark blue, and then one that, and it's not really blue, it's called Proud Peacock or something, and then I add one that has a little bit more of the blue in it, and I think that one ends up being the dark blue. Anyway, I've got 3 different shades of blue. I promise it doesn't look like it on this screen, but look at the effort that I'm putting in to all these different colored blues. This pisses me off right here in a minute, because my dumb ass forgets to put fragrance oil in any of it until I done have I was doing the in the pot swirl for the ocean part. So I had all my different colors. I had them the way I wanted them. Put them in the pot, ready to swirl them into the mold. And then I remember fragrance oil. I could have kicked my own ass right then and there. Here, right about here. This is where it hits me. No. I think I get it all in there before I even remember it. God, I can't remember now. Just a second. We're about to see the whole disappointment. My bubble completely deflate right here in just a second. Right here. good Lord, I could have kicked myself. I was getting ready to add the white, and it hit me. So all my blues just ended up getting stirred together, and then I did add a little bit of white, so I had a little bit in there. But I swear I was so mad at myself. Oh Lord. Anyway, that was mistake number, I don't know, 2, maybe 3. I don't know. I wasn't keeping count, but it wasn't the first goof. So get it back out and kind of rough it up a little bit, give a little bit of dimension to that sand bottom before I go ahead and pour this in. And I really, after it was all said and done, I don't think I had mixed all of my my fragrance oil really good, because one little section of it has got a funny little look to it after it had cured, or after it had, you know, saponified. It just, I don't know, it looks a little odd, and I think it was just the fragrance oil that didn't mix 100%. But I mean, it's okay. It's just you could see that it kind of leached into the color below it or something. I don't know, I'll have to try to show you. So what I'm doing here is I'm actually covering it and putting it in my warmed oven in between, so I can get these layers to set up a little faster. And when I done that, that's when it hit me about this daggone sunshine. And I was like, oh my God, I don't even have anything for it. So I grabbed my soap dough and I started working it a little bit. And I thought, no, this is too bright, or I don't know, just too yellow. I just didn't think that was going to go. So I worked it for a minute and I'm like, no, I need something different. So I went and got the orange. So all of this was just in total panic mode, trying to keep the other fluid back, the other batter fluid what time I'm doing all this. I said, how am I going to make half sun? Because I just wanted it kind of sitting, like it was going down behind, the ocean. And I don't know, I grabbed the soap mold and, tried to smush it down in there and flatten it out best I could. I don't know, it was just a mess. It ended up, like I said, okay, but this definitely didn't go as planned, to say the least. And I kept, trying to mash it down in there, and then it looked like it was making it too wide. And you could see my rescuer there. He came to try to help me, but there wasn't a whole lot of helping here. I didn't know what to do. So I just kind of mashed it down in there best I could, took a knife and tried to cut off the top part, and basically hoped for the best. Because that's all I could do at that point. Trimmed it up, and we went with it. Here we are, getting ready to do the sky part. So I'm separating out my different bits for, the different colors that I'm going to put in my sky. Well, guess what? Goofball here, I didn't even have my colors ready, and I always have them mixed and ready. Like, to say I wasn't ready to make this loaf of soap is an understatement. But once again, here comes my honey, helping me stir, helping me get everything together. Or at least trying, best he can. I don't know what I'm doing at this point, much less be able to tell him what to help me do. So I had planned on putting a real thin mica line down, so, you could see the definite edge in between. Completely forgot that too. So I just started mixing colors and adding a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and putting a thin layer of this and a thin layer of that, and just throwing it in there. I wanted the peach and the pinks and the purples, all kind of mixed in there together. So it actually turned out pretty the way, way that I had it. But did I have a plan for all of this part? No, because this is not exactly what I had in my mind. But it turned out really pretty. We had some really, pretty sky colors that, like sunset looking colors. And I don't know, I like the way it turned out. So this goes to show you do need a plan, yes. But when you don't have it planned out right, don't panic, don't freak out. Just, get to going. Go with the flow, make something, because in the end, it's still going to be soap. It's still going to be beautiful. It's still handmade soap. So, how bad can it be when it's, all said and done? And here I am just finishing up the different little colors that I've got. I end up putting a dark blue, a little bit darker blue, and then one, I swear it almost looks black. It's so dark, but it is just a seriously dark kind of navy like blue. And that's it. I popped it, throw it, back in the oven, and got it out the next day. And I'm going to attempt to post a picture here at the end, let you take a look at what we got out of this Hot Mess Express, and to show you that, when it all goes to shit, you can still come out with good soap. I hope y'all have enjoyed this video, and if you like it, make sure you give a thumbs up, make sure you're subscribing, and we'll see what kind of chaos I get into next time. Bye, y'all.